Hello Libra, welcome to Sidekick Tarot. I'm Ryan, and thank you for being here. It's going to be a general reading for who you may be dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, Theyre Tarot. She's read for you as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh my goodness. I'm going to push this forward a little bit right away, Libra. Yeah, you really are. You really are. You're wow. I was gonna say, once again, it's like, are you trying to get me in trouble again? I mean, this energy, it's like again, I appreciate the directness. You're like, tell me about these two. Tell me about these two. Well, those two, they are clearly right next to each other. Are they standing next to each other? Are they sitting next to each other? Both. Something financially clearly is working out for both of them. I kind of feel like whatever's going on, they both are receiving some sort of financial recognition. At the same time, with this recognition that they are gaining, they're actually in this energy as well, considering like, what to do now moving forward. I feel like even for them, it's kind of like saying it's an assessment. They're getting what they're getting, but ultimately they're still kind of assessing, is it enough? Is it not enough? What are they going to do with it? How do they want to kind of work with it? Do they want to reinvest it? Do they want to utilize it somehow? Do they not? What is their decision going to be? They're making some sort of decision and moving forward with it. At the same time, they're not being real too flexible. And I kind of feel like you're giving me this energy of, I want to know both of their mindsets at the same time. Okay, that's a first. Well, I have to say it this way. There may be a little bit of manipulative tactics in how their work ethic is turning out. In a sense, they could be saying that overall everything that's going on isn't working out, but I feel like no, it's they themselves individually. And there you are. So like I said, I appreciate the directness, Libra. One of them, if not both of them, are not being completely honest or direct with you. And I feel like that's why you're asking me what you're asking me. You're kind of like, I don't know about these two. You looks like you have good reason to not know. They're not being honest. And that's what's interesting, is they're well aware of that. Now, like I said, the manipulation tactics, they're not being completely honest with you. And yet they're having some sort of conscious response or effect because of that as well. It's like, well, we didn't tell Libra that. We didn't tell Libra about something. I kind of feel bad. They're kind of giving me this energy of like, I feel bad about that, like moping. And it's like, why are you moping? You're the one that decided not to communicate or say everything. Thanks for the information, by the way. Ultimately, though, I kind of feel like they're in this mentality because they themselves actually don't know. Even though they kind of have to make that call and call that shot, they don't know. And I feel like that's why they're kind of in this energy. It's like they're not giving you the full story because they themselves don't know. But once again, I kind of seem and feel like there is some sort of again that kind of like that using flirtation as an advantage to kind of like persuade, or what's that called, distract or deflect. Because ultimately there's a lot of emotional disappointment, there's a lot of pain here, but it's because they're in a situation, or they're in a boat that they just don't know how to handle or what to do with it all. They're defensive. They're defensive. They got their guard up. Once again, you're being very direct. Yeah, they got their guard up. And once again, it's like an energy of that's fascinating. It's almost like they themselves are in this mindset of perspective of they don't even want to be bothered by it. It's like yeah. They kind of like brush it off or shush it, or I'm not saying you, unless of course they are, then you'll know. But again, it's this energy of they're kind of saying like, well, I don't want to be too in touch with my emotions. It's like, no, I'm like confident, I'm large and in charge. And it's like, well, then why are you crying over here though? I don't think they like me. That's funny. That's funny. Interesting. I'm going to push this a little more. Yeah, that's what I thought. I feel like they're doing it to themselves. They're doing it to themselves. This is an energy of, because they're not too sure emotionally how to make sense and put all this together. Interesting. You put two heads together, you think you'd come up with something, but they're coming up with nothing. They're getting defensive about that. At the same time, it's like they're probably running over to my wife's channel trying to figure out from her whatever they can kind of get. They're looking for scraps or breadcrumbs. Because ultimately they're like, well, what can we do? What can we do? What we can do? And then it's almost like they want to kind of, in a sense, hang loose and kind of live life up. And, and it's like, well, let's just kind of make the best out of it. And it's like, yeah, tick tock. We're watching the clock, and now they're beginning to stress out and they're becoming very impatient with themselves. It's like, yeah, you kind of, what'd you do? Drink the time away? You party the time away, huh? Oh, Libra, what'd they do? They're being shady. They're being shady. And once again, that goes right back hand in hand with how they're not telling you everything. You're like, are they up to some ish? They're up to some ish. They are. But at the same time, you're kind of like, well, which one? It's like, what do you mean, which one? I'm looking at all of them. I'm looking at all of them. It's fascinating. You're showing me 4 people, Libra, including you. That makes 5. This is interesting, though. I'm going to push this a little bit more. Ooh, yeah. That's sneaky. That is sneaky. This is a snake in the grass. This is a snake in the grass. Whoever's thinking shady, aim for the stars. Whoever's thinking shady, they're going through some sort of awakening experience. They're having a wake-up call. And they're kind of like, well, maybe the best idea is just to keep my head down and focus on my work. That feels a whole lot more emotionally comfortable. With the Magician on top of the deck, with the Devil underneath that, I believe that is what you call black magic. Of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, an air sign, a water sign, or an earth sign. Goodbye.